My love, I'm gonna need you to stop feeling guilty about resting, about sleeping in, and about taking breaks. As someone who works a 9 to 5 job, y'all, and someone who prioritizes my nutrition, going to the gym, entrepreneurship, being on YouTube, I know how easy it is to feel guilty about listening to your body, but it's so important to lean into our feminine energy and take breaks as we need to, because that is what allows us to be more productive in the long run. And I want to just put a disclaimer out there, like, I am not the feminine energy expert. I just like to learn about feminine energy and apply these principles into my life, because honestly, tapping into my feminine energy has contributed positively to my life in so many ways. And so I just really wanted to share how I've been using feminine energy to lean into sleeping in, just slowing down in general. And I just want to say, you guys, it has been so nice to not feel guilty or feel bad about resting. And that's what I wanted to share in today's video. I want to give you all the tips, the strategies, everything that I've been doing over the past couple months so that you don't have to feel guilty about sleeping in and resting and listening to your body either. So let's just quickly talk about why resting is important. I don't think I really have to explain this that much. Society makes us think that like slowing down or sleeping in makes us lazy. It pressures us to be busy and it glorifies being productive. And it's just such a toxic mindset. Like, I've been in that mindset for a long period of my life, just convincing myself that if I wasn't working on something, I was somehow behind, or that I was somehow lazy or just not using my time wisely, when in reality, what I love about feminine energy is that it's like the opposite. It encourages resting, and that leads to more productivity, that leads to better outcomes, that leads to more success. Feminine energy, it's all about going within. And to me, that feels really good, because it's like, we're going to ignore the outside world. We're going to ignore that society says you have to be busy to be productive, to be successful. Feminine energy has really allowed me to listen to my body. And that's what it's all about. And I want to share an analogy with you guys, because it's been so powerful for me. But when you think about a car and putting gas in the car, eventually that gas runs out until you put more fuel in it, right? Without putting more fuel in it, the car's not going to work. We're the same. Without resting, without getting adequate sleep, without listening to what our body needs and giving that to ourselves, eventually we burn out. Whether it's sleeping in, whether it's taking a 15-minute nap, whether it's just slowing down a little bit. I love feminine energy because what I have been receiving from it is the permission to listen to my body, even beyond just sleeping, but just that permission that it's okay to honor whatever it is that my body is telling me that it needs. So I want to share a couple of my favorite ways that I've been incorporating feminine energy into my life. The first one being not being glued to my calendar anymore. You guys, I have been in my masculine energy for the longest time when it comes to my to-do list, my calendar, the control for just seeing what needs to be done. I have realized that me having a calendar and having every little thing on it, like I'm telling y'all, between cooking, going to the gym, when I'm going to do my chores, that's my ego. And that's just me being in my masculine energy, like not giving myself the freedom to maybe cook on this day instead of that day, not giving myself the freedom to go to the gym on this day instead of that day. Like, I didn't realize how exhausting and like the boundary that I put around myself of having to follow my schedule. And I realized that it's just my need for controlling my life. It's my need for wanting to know what's going to happen. It's like my safety net. And to tie this specifically back into resting, where this is really helping me is just letting myself go to the gym when I feel like it. And now I'm learning that it's okay to sleep in. It's okay to go to the gym later in the day. It's okay if I don't actually go to the gym and do a full-on workout. It's okay if I just do a walk for 10 minutes that day. Just removing the need for having to do anything off my calendar. And this kind of ties me into my next point, but just allowing myself to rest. This has been a game changer for me. On the days where I feel like I just need to sleep in a little bit longer, on the days where I just want a slower start to my morning, I'm just letting myself have that. And the way that I'm doing that is just by listening to my intuition and how my body feels. If I don't feel like I'm ready to start the day and I have the flexibility to start it later, then I'm starting it later. But just really listening to my body. If I'm tired, letting myself just sleep a little bit longer. And sometimes that's an extra half hour. Sometimes it's an hour. Sometimes it's just 10 minutes. But just honoring what my body is asking me. The other thing I've been doing that I really like is practicing intuitive resting, which is just checking in with myself and my body as often as I feel like I need to. So instead of ignoring the way that I'm feeling, like if I'm feeling a little bit out of it, I'll actually sit there and do a body scan and ask myself, okay, what am I feeling? Why am I feeling that way? Did I not get enough sleep the night before? Is it that time of the month? I have found for myself that sometimes even just laying down for 5 minutes, just letting my body sit there for a second and do nothing, putting on a little meditative music in the background, giving that to myself has actually been really helpful because it feels like a form of rest, even though I'm not actually sleeping. The other thing I've been doing that I think you guys will resonate with is just saying affirmations to myself around resting, like telling myself I'm worthy of rest, I'm deserving of sleeping in. I am deserving of listening to what my body needs and not feeling guilty about it. Some affirmations can go a long way. And so maybe for some of you, it doesn't even have to be any of the tips I shared. Maybe just even some affirmations and positive self-talk around why you deserve to sleep in, around why you deserve to take a step back might be the thing that you need. It might be the most effective thing you could give yourself is just the narrative that you tell yourself. And then the other thing I've been doing is syncing in more rest with my menstrual cycle. So for me personally, I feel really tired and lethargic the week before my period. And then when I'm actually on it, like day 1, day 2, day 3, I actually feel fairly good. Maybe the first day, not so much, but as far as being tired and lethargic, that is always the week leading up to my period. And so what's been really helpful for me is tracking my cycle through Flow, which is not sponsored. I love that app. I've been using the app for years, but it wasn't until recently that I have been using Flow as a tool to think about when I should be productive and creative. So I've been really prioritizing trying to get my creative projects for YouTube, for my podcast, any other thing that I want to do. I really try to focus that the first 3 weeks of my cycle. And then the last week is when I'm like, I don't want to add anything to my plate. I don't want to do anything. I don't want to have to go anywhere. I don't want to be around anybody. I just want to rest. I want to take my naps as I need to. And allowing myself and giving myself permission to do that specifically the week before my cycle, hands down has to be the biggest feminine energy tip I have taken. Because being busy, being super productive during your cycle when you don't need to be is just not a good combination. So I want to share with you guys some lessons that I've learned over the past couple months, some things I've struggled with and be super transparent with you guys. It is not easy per se to just let yourself sleep in. There's been times and there still is times where I do feel bad. There's times where my initial reaction to me sleeping in is not great, where I'll tell myself like, oh my God, girl, now you're going to be behind. But then I just remind myself, like, it's okay, Ladette. You are allowed to rest. Okay. Time is an illusion, first of all. Like I'm not chasing against time. So I just tell myself it's okay. Whatever is important to you is going to get done. And it's okay to just take it day by day. You slept in today, so what? It was well deserved. So if you find yourself feeling guilty about resting, I would just suggest reminding yourself I'm allowed to rest. Like really leaning on those affirmations and your positive self-talk to be like, you know what? This was well deserved. This was well earned. Anytime I sleep in and listen to my body, it allows me to be even more productive compared to if I didn't listen to my body. So just remind yourself that you're worthy of resting. And something I do want to share that's been kind of funny is the times that I've felt really guilty about sleeping in and feeling like I'm somehow behind, I actually have ended up proving to myself each time that I was wrong. Like there have been times where I thought because I slept in, oh my God, now I'm not going to have time to record the YouTube video and edit it. But then each time I happen to have enough time to record it and edit it. So somehow me giving myself an extra 30 minutes, an extra hour on the days that I need to just rest, somehow magically I end up getting what I need to get done. Maybe a little later in the day, maybe it happens to be the next day or a little bit later in the week, but everything still gets done. And that's why I really believe that when you lean into your feminine energy, you really do give yourself the recharge that you need and you really do end up being more productive in the long run. So it's just been kind of nice to see that come into fruition. And honestly, I'm so excited to continue leaning into my feminine energy, to continue allowing myself to take these rests, these breaks, to sleep in, to just take my time and to see how it continues to positively impact my life. And I'm super excited to hear about how it impacts your life. You cannot go wrong with using feminine energy principles in your life, especially when it comes to resting. And I just want to remind you guys that resting doesn't make you lazy. It's a necessity, okay? Embracing your feminine energy can help you feel more balanced, more happy, more rested, more fulfilled in your life. So you just can't go wrong. I'm so excited to hear about how resting goes for you guys, about how using feminine energy in your life benefits you. And to help y'all get started with this, I created this worksheet for you. I have a little section in there that prompts you to think about why you deserve to rest and how resting can benefit your life. It's a free worksheet and you can access it by joining my Patreon account under the free membership. I'll have that link for you guys in the description. Drop a heart in the comments if you resonated with today's video. I'd also just love to hear how you all plan on listening to your body and allowing yourself to just rest a little more. If you're new here, don't forget to subscribe to my channel. It's all about self-love, positivity, being kind to yourself, and I would just love to have you here and part of this community. I love you guys, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye!